time. And you can put there how long do you want in milliseconds your node to be. For instance, I can play that my node, I don't know, last 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or half a second. The parameters order, I don't remember it right now, but it is okay. The pitch. So remember this list that we have here. The first parameter is any of these nodes. The second parameter is the velocity, so the intensity of the node, if you want it to be loud or soft. And the third parameter is the duration. So we can make a list in this one. And we can put here, for instance, the node. So we want 80, velocity, so loudness of 100, and duration. How much do we want the node to be? Put 1 second. 1000 milliseconds. So we can send this to make node and it will make the node. But make node has to be connected to MIDI out, because it will just make the node for MIDI out. And then I think it's not working anymore. Oh my god. I think the node out went wrong now, because it's not working also here. Okay. Have to restart live. Any questions until that? Do you have do you have any software you are using for music, or you plan to use, or I don't know?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Would like to connect my audio software with video parts or MIDI that I can trigger from my audio software PD to trigger again. Hopefully later on the.
Yeah, if you have like different software you want to connect, you can ask me. It's usually not that complicated. It's not really. It's mostly because of the difficulties are mostly because of the software itself. But it really shouldn't be that hard to configure it. We can see here at least with itself. You can check here in the MIDI in that the message of the MIDI out node, because I'm making a feedback loop also in my pure data, it's working. Yeah, but it's not working in Ableton Live for now. Something will happen there. Okay, but we have the same kinds of objects also for nodes in, and we can have here MIDI in. We have here control in, which is the same. It receives these messages. And node in, I will check, I will show you here. Node in, you can see if I want node, I think here is the velocity, and let's just print it out so it's easier to see. I think it's sending a list. Or not? Well, it's not sending a list. It's just sending the. It's just sending 127. Well, usually it gives you a list of the. I think I'm not reading it very well. I think I have to put here also print, and then here also print. And then we can see all the information that is giving us of this particular node. Control L. Yeah, it's saying in the channel 1 the node is 21, and the velocity has to be 127. But, or sorry, the something when I'm not reading it very well. Okay, let's just open the node in. Well, it just gives you the node number and velocity actually. But you have to specify here channel as well. Okay. So, to make it more clear, we have the channel and the velocity in this case. Make sense? Hello? This? Okay. And yeah, there are additional objects that we can use for MIDI, which I put it here because these are extra objects. We don't really use them so much. These are the native objects. These are the extra objects, and these are from two libraries called MaxLib and Cyclone. This is something I will explain right now, but usually you have to use this import Cyclone, and it will import the library Cyclone, or import MaxLib, and it will import. These are collections of objects that are not by default in pure data. You have to put import, and then it will import these libraries. Okay? I'm just importing a set of objects that usually you don't have in pure data. In this case, yeah, import MaxLib, and it will import these objects here. These objects are more advanced, like you can check the help file of each of them. In this case, the MIDI format gives me different things like velocity, after touch, the controller to make control message as well, program change. It gives me everything basically. So you can use one of these objects to control the whole array of things. And you can also use the MIDI parse message that gives you all the information in just one object. These are extra objects. Also in the PD vanilla version you won't have these objects. MIDI parse, I already told you. MIDI flush is that you can just turn off everything. You know, like sometimes you have a lot of conflicting messages and a lot of noise or whatever, and MIDI flash just clears everything. It's like writing clear or something like this, and it will delete all pending messages or all information that is there. In the Cyclone library, you have pitch that you can specify pitch, and chord that you can specify chord. You can read more in the help file, but basically you just make different chords. This is like more musical thing. You in chords, maybe also it would be interesting for you that you want to make music. Okay. So for instance, you have F, A, C. So this would be, we call it root position. When you have a chord with 3 notes or 4 notes or 5 notes, if they are equidistant, like this, well, not equidistant, but if they are in this arrangement, in the original arrangement, we call it root position, okay? Let's just put 3 for now, because it's more complex rules. And if you want to have the same chord, so the same notes, F, this is A, and this is C. If we want to have the same chord, but so instead of this F here, we have to have this F here. Okay? So this is the same chord. It's just arranged in a different way. This is, I will write the notes here. F, AC, and this is ACF. It's the same information, just arranged differently. We call this first inversion. First inversion. And you can imagine what's the second inversion. Just the same thing, but to put so C, F, A. This is the second inversion. And they sound the same, but to explain the difference, I would have to go to counterpoint, and maybe it's too much, just basic for the basics, but basically they sound the same, okay? Basically they sound the same. There are some subtle differences that we use in counterpoint, but that's the root, first inversion, second inversion. And with this object, we can make the same chord in root, first inversion, and second inversion with this parsing thing. Yeah, it's a nice object to explore. I actually never used it, but there is one library that I like. However, it's perhaps not for pure data, it's for MaxMSP, but it's called the RTC library, which makes all this kind of combinatory theory for music and so on. It's very like theory music and so on. Yeah. Okay, that's it for MIDI. We will come back to MIDI a lot of times. You will see that it's something recurrent. You can never escape MIDI because everything is built around MIDI. So we will see it many times again, and we will have the opportunity to check it much better. Okay, I will go to the second protocol that we used a lot. It's called Open Sound Control. Where is my? And Open Sound Control is a protocol that was developed very not so long ago. Around 2001 or 2002, they developed this Open Sound Control. And it was out of the necessity to have data through internet or networks, you know, like TCP, IP, and UDP. And yeah, basically it's oriented to this. The cool thing about Open Sound Control is that you can have data type resolution. That means that you can have integers, you can have floats, you can have strings, and you can use these data types through the network. So you can specify, I'm sending a float, I'm sending an int. With MIDI, you are sending just bytes of data. They don't have data types, you know. You are sending just a number, and this is a number, and that's it. It's nothing else. With Open Sound Control, you are specifying, you know, this float resolution, which is huge. I know how much it is. It is millions. You can specify the resolution. So it's very cool because it gives you very, very micro control of things. It's bad. It's really bad because it's very hierarchical. I don't know how to pronounce it. Which means that okay, I will just show you this. And okay, I will explain everything here, but let's go for parts. First, remember, if you have any issue with OSC objects, you have to import the libraries OSC and Mr. Pitch. Okay? Yes, it's yeah, because these guys, you know, it's like they do it in their free time, so they put whatever name they want, you know. There is another library called Sexy as well, and there is a lot of different library names that are cool. It's like Python. So yeah, just you remember you have to import these libraries, and the way you import it is basically just, oh my god, what happened? Okay. Cancel. The way you do it is just create an object and call import. and then whatever library you want to use.